Welcome back, grade 10. Here we are with Reading and Writing, Unit 3, Exploring the Red Planet. Okay, think about that. What is the red planet? Who of you can tell me? Of course, that's Mars, right? Look at that picture, how beautiful and how red it looks, right? Beautiful. Okay, this is what we're going to talk about for reading and writing. We're going to talk about space still, just like we did with listening and speaking, but now we're going to focus on Mars. When you were a child, did you ever look up in the night sky, and what questions did you ask? Exploring space costs a lot of money. Do you think what we learn is worth the cost? And what do you know about Mars? We're not talking about the candy bar. I don't know if you guys know, but where I'm from, we have this chocolate bar which is called Mars. Yeah, we're not talking about that. Do you know of any plans to explore Mars? Okay, guys, there's a lot going on, and you can find that on the internet. And I really want you to take time this week to think about these questions, number 1, 2, 3. Really look up what space exploration there has been done in the past, in the present, and is going to happen in the future, and any plans on exploring Mars. Okay, please look that up, come up, think about these things. Let's build your background, and so we're ready to discuss the unit. Awesome. Okay, reading 1, Mars, our new home? There's a question mark there, okay? Like, can you imagine yourself living on Mars? Ooh, that is something. Our beloved Earth, we don't want to go. Yeah, okay, we're going to start with the vocabulary. As usual, we have the bold-faced words that bring us to the vocabulary. Yeah, we've got depressions, simulating, spin, survive, counting, and counting on, boredom, artificial, and reaction. Okay, now you are going to read this, but you're going to pay attention. Yeah, you're going to pay attention to this to the bold-faced words that are in this text. Okay, so yes, so we're gonna read this whole thing together. When the Curiosity rover landed on Mars in August of 2012, many of the mission scientists on Earth decided to live on Mars. Time for the first 90 days of the mission. They had learned from earlier Mars missions that it is upsetting to their ability to sleep well when they are on Earth time at home and on Mars time to work. And they know that lack of sleep can lead to depression. Such stress does not allow them to keep working. In addition, by changing their schedules to Mars time and simulating Martian days on Earth, they are able to control the actions of Curiosity from Earth when Curiosity is facing Earth. The Earth takes 24 hours to spin around once, but Mars takes 24 hours and 40 minutes. Mars time quickly becomes different from an Earth day. For example, in 2.5 weeks, noon on Mars becomes 4 a.m. on Earth. The NASA scientists knew it would be a challenge to live and work on Mars time for 90 days. In fact, some of them didn't succeed making the difficult change in their schedule. Those scientists that didn't survive the 90 days said they felt isolated from their families because they rarely saw them. David O., the Curiosity mission's head scientist, knew being separated from his family would be difficult for him. He knew that he would miss them very much, even though they would be living in the same house. He was counting on 3 months of loneliness, but his family surprised him. For a month before school started, his wife and 3 children lived on Mars time with him. At first, he and his family thought that they would have a month of boredom because there would be nothing to do. There on Earth, artificial 24 hours and 40-minute day would not offer a lot of activities for a young family of 5. But soon they found a lot to do: bowling, eating at all-night dinners, walking on the beach in moonlight, and seeing meteors when the moon was not bright. They also cooked together, ate together, and watched movies together. David and his wife, Bren, were most surprised by their children's reaction. They loved it and want to have another vacation to Mars during their next break from school. That is so super nice. Okay, match the bold-faced words on the left with the definitions on the right. You can pause your video to do that. Go ahead. Great. That brings us to previewing our predicting phase and start before we start our actual reading. It's the first reading strategy. Yeah, we have previewing, we have skimming, intensive reading, yeah, and scanning. Now, in previewing, we predict the type of text, yeah, and the purpose of the text, which gives us focus on what to read for. Look at the title of the reading, Mars, Our New Home. Make a list of questions that you think will be answered in this reading. Pause your video and go ahead. Okay, having done that, writing down some of those questions, yeah, kind of gives you a direction to what to read for. It helps your brain to connect to the topic that you're going to read. Okay, while you are listening and reading along, can you please annotate the text? Basically, we would skim it first, and when we skim, you remember, yeah, we read only the introductory paragraph, and then every topic sentence, every first sentence of every paragraph. And then we would read also the last paragraph, which is a concluding paragraph. Yeah, so first paragraph, last paragraph, and every first sentence. That would be skimming, and we do that to get the main idea. Remember? Good. So I'll give you some time first to do that right now. Go ahead and skim. Awesome. That means that we're now going to listen, and you're going to do your intensive reading right now. Please annotate while you are reading.
Mars, our new home. If you think you'd like to live on Mars, you may have that possibility by 2023. A Dutch company called Mars One will soon advertise for people interested in colonizing Mars. If you have all the necessary skills, and there are a lot, you could be one of the first colonists to Mars. Are you ready for the challenge? Luckily, you won't have to find the money to pay for a mission to Mars, because it would cost billions of dollars. Mars One has already received money from companies and some private donors. It is also counting on getting money from everyday people who become interested in the television show they are planning to start soon. The show will follow teams of 4 applicants as they complete difficult jobs in difficult situations. The audience will vote for the best 6 teams. This show will be shown worldwide on television and on the internet. Mars One is hoping that people will become so interested in the mission that they will give small and large amounts of money, or at least buy a t-shirt, which Mars One already has available on its website. As a future colonist in one of the 6 teams, you will go through years of training. If your team is the first team to travel to Mars, your main responsibility when you get there will be to build a place where humans can live. The atmosphere on Mars does not have enough oxygen for humans, and the land is not good enough to grow food. Colonists will have to create an artificial environment on Mars where there is air to breathe and land to farm. Scientists know Earth-like conditions can be simulated on Mars because something similar has already been done in Antarctica, where humans cannot survive outside the created environment. Humans may have another problem in space as well. It takes nearly a year to get to Mars, so travelers would be without the Earth's gravity for a long time. In addition, Mars 1 astronauts will not return to Earth. Their mission is to start a colony that can support itself. So, the colonists will live the rest of their lives there. When a human lives in an environment without gravity or with low gravity for a long time, the systems in the body weaken. For example, muscles and bones lose strength. The heart also gets weaker. The blood in the body gets thicker, and it becomes more difficult for the heart to push blood through the body. Luckily, spinning the spaceship can create artificial gravity, and artificial gravity can ease these problems. It also will be difficult for Mars colonists to be isolated, far from home, living in small spaces, and seeing the same people over and over. It is important to come up with solutions to possible problems before anyone actually goes on a Mars mission. Colonists with depression could put the mission in danger. Fortunately, a few years ago, a joint Russian and European project called the Mars 500 mission took place. It studied people's reactions to long-term space travel by following 6 astronauts in a Mars-like environment. The astronauts spent 520 days in this environment and only had contact with their bosses and their families. The 6 astronauts returned to the Earth in good physical condition and still talking to each other. Scientists viewed the Mars 500 mission as a great success because they were able to see how the astronauts handle emotional and physical stresses. Surprisingly, the greatest emotional problem was boredom. The greatest physical problems were not getting enough sleep and gaining too much weight. Recent polls show that 7% of people would want to go on such an adventure. Mars 1 will soon start accepting applications for colonists. Applicants do not have to have any specific training, but they must be interested in learning new things and capable of solving problems. They also should be able to trust others and complete an assignment without stopping. Interested?
I don't know. That is something though. Would you want to sign up? Oh boy. Okay, amazing. So you took notes and or annotated the text or did margin notes while you were reading / listening to it. Now we're gonna focus on the main idea and the main points, okay? So look at the preview on, basically it was page 52 that you did that. And how did your questions help you understand the reading? Probably because it directed you into the right to the right topic, and that is basically what helped you, so you could connect. Read each restatement of a main idea of the reading. In which paragraph is that main idea discussed? And write the paragraph number on the line on the next page. Then underline the main idea sentence in the paragraph. So you're gonna write here which paragraph it is in, and then you're gonna underline it in the text here. Okay? You can pause your video to do that. Go ahead. Awesome. That brings us to details. As we have read for main points, now we're going to read for details. Yeah, you're going to circle the letter of the correct answer. There is number 1 until 5. Please annotate the question and answer choice first before you try to answer and before you go back to the text to find the answer. Go ahead. Making inferences all the time. Making inferences and synthesizing are two very important strategies in academic English. Yeah, as making inferences is an educated guess about something that is not directly stated, using facts, correlating it to come to an underlying meaning. We're using synthesizing to connect ideas and to organize and create something new. Now we're inferring the degree of difficulty. Writers sometimes suggest degrees of difficulty without stating them explicitly. So a strong reader can infer these degrees of difficulty by reading the text closely. Look at the example. Considering the cost of the mission to Mars, how difficult will it be for people to join? Not so difficult, somewhat difficult, difficult, or very difficult. Now, the answer is A. In paragraph 2, we learned that colonists will not have to pay for their trip. Companies and private donors will supply the money for this mission. So, considering the cost, will it be difficult? So then, no, not so. After reading the text closely, we can infer that in terms of cost, joining the mission won't be so difficult since people won't have to pay anything. Everything is paid for. So looking closely at the text means that you really are very aware of everything that's in the text in order to figure out what it means. Now you are going to answer number 1 until 4. Circle the best answer for each of the challenges the colonists will face in the Mars mission. Refer to the paragraphs in the parentheses. Okay, you can pause your video to do this. Go ahead. Great, awesome. This brings us to the last part of our lesson today, which is expressing opinion. Yeah, this is the part of reasoning. We're rounding up a reading line where we're connecting and correlating all the ideas we have read and talked about in reading 1. And with that, we come to a justification. What is it that we think about it, and why do we think that? Okay, we're going to go over these 3 questions. Mars 1 has begun a very grand project. Do you think that the mission will take place by 2023? Why or why not? Number 2, scientists believe that the information they learned from the Mars 500 project was valuable in understanding what colonists to Mars might have to face. Do you agree? Why or why not? And number 3, would you want to join the Mars mission? Would you? Then tell me why or why not. Okay, please guys, think about these 3 points in our next Zoom meeting. I would want to hear you respond to this, and really this is important to really have this critical analysis going. Remember, we analyze to connect and correlate ideas, and we evaluate to come to the conclusion and a justification. And then in your writing project, which you will do in your journal, you will create using all the information you have read and learned in Unit 3. Okay, that's really, really cool. If you still have any questions, you know that you can ask that during our Zoom meeting. So let's wrap it up. We started with our vocabulary. There were 9 words, and we placed them, connected the words with the definition. Then we did our previewing of the text Mars, Our New Home. Yeah, predicting the type of text and the purpose of the text in order to get a focus to know what to read for. That's the first reading strategy. Then we did the second reading strategy, which is skimming, to get the main idea. We read the first paragraph, every first sentence of every body paragraph, and the concluding paragraph. And then we did the third reading strategy, intensive reading, while also listening to the audio. We annotated or took notes. Yes. Then we read to grasp main points and details, and for that we had to scan the text to find those answers. Then we talked about making inferences, inferring degree of difficulty, and expressing our opinion to reason about what we have learned. You guys are amazing. You did an amazing job today. I'm super proud of you. I'm going to see you very soon again. God bless you. Bye.